Hello, today I'm going to reveal on this. It's the Doctor Who 25 Glorious Years book by Peter Haining again. Like, this is quite similar to the Time Traveller's Guide book, but slightly less, like, thicker by the feels of it, I think, on look of it. So it's got the Sylvester McCoy era Doctor Who, 1987, like 25 Glorious Years, and then obviously 25 Roman numerals, there's the TARDIS. Well, this book came out in 1988, like Doctor the 25 Glorious Years, Peter Haining, and obviously W.H. Allen Planet again. And on the back, you've got this artwork of like space and things. So let's just open this, shall we? So you got Doctor Who 25 Glorious Years, and it says John Nathan Turner, the show's produced for the last 9 years, and Sylvester McCoy, the seventh, the most recent regeneration of the Doctor. So let's open this. So you got Doctor Who 25 Glorious Years again there, of course. And then it says 1988, of course, because that's when it was actually 25 years, 1988. Acknowledgements, and then contents. The legend begins, other stuff. Like, the legend begins. So you got, yeah, mum's the word for Doctor Who. Below, like, Brunette Carol Ann Ford, who played the Doctor's first companion, Susan, in 1963, yes. Opposite top, the Doctor, William Hartnell and Susan get their first sight of their most famous enemy in the Daleks, 1963. Opposite bottom, the creation that launched the series Terry Nation's Dalek, designed and made by Ray Cusick. Yeah. And then you've got, he seemed that the threads to bind the universe together and have the ability to mend them when they break. The fourth Doctor's fourth regeneration, played by Tom Baker. Yes. Introduction. So it says, the world's longest running TV science fiction series. Above, a national institution and international success story of the cartoon The Listener. 8th of December 1983 to mark the 20th anniversary of Doctor Who. And you've got above, Doctor Who is a cult figure in America, a typical newspaper story from Chicago to Newton, 14th of July 1982. Tempo, a hero for all ages. Dr.2 is just out of this world. Look at that. That's really cool. Like, the Daleks have been favourites with cartoonists, as two typical examples demonstrate. Right, Ian Dix, Radio Times 3rd, 9th March 1984. Below, right, Barry Fancy Card Times, 1st of March 1985. Daleks, you are wonderful. It's like different cartoons. Foot is new Dr. Who. Like, the 67-year-old Michael Foot is to be the new Dr. Who. It's revealed today. So, like, he nearly played the fourth Doctor, literally. Like, he nearly, but didn't. Like, the famous Doctor was even embraced the British political scene. Opposite, a news item from the satirical magazine, Private Eye praising Labour MP Michael Foot as the new Doctor in November 1980, and below, Prime Minister Thatcher and companion Chancellor Nigel Lawson, from an article and by Marcia Falkender. Maggie is out of this world, the Mail on Sunday, 13th of October 1985. Look at that. So you got opposite Peter 1987. Illustration by Virgil Finlay for H.G. Wells' story The Time Machine. The great Whovian mystery. Look at that. Like, right, Sydney Newman inset and illustration by John Hunt, really of Dalek, like, invaders in H.G. Wells' other classic essay story in the War of the Worlds. That's it. So that's Sydney Newman there. So above, the Doctor's remarkable time machine, the TARDIS, designed by Peter in 1963, and opposite top, its two console rooms, the older one opposite, and now generally considered redundant. So that's one of the older ones. And then bottom, that's like the wooden one. That's obviously like the redundant one, they say, of course. And there's some more right up here. Above, the junkyard in Totter's Lane, where the Doctor first appeared in the story An Unearthly Child in 1963, designed by Peter Brackett, I don't know. Above, Jacqueline Hill and William Russell as school teachers, Ian and Barbara make an unusual discovery in the junkyard in An Unearthly Child. So that's obviously Totter's Lane there, of course. The opposite top, the first Doctor from the Web Planet. Yeah, that's on set for the Web Planet there, of course. And then, like, two Dalek operators there, of course. It's like, like Robert John Scott Martin, Power of the Daleks. And then that looks like, hang on, that's the chase with the mechanoid, that's it. And then you've got another mechanoid there, and then some more. And then that looks like a Cyberman and the Ice Warrior, like making up, of course, the Ice Warrior. There's a mechanoid there. Like the Doctor Who figure upon human Sydney's imagination, bright television of William Hart, or like an unearthly child there, of course, I think that looks like. But that picture there's from the Savages of the First Doctor. The Silver Decade, a quarter of a century of Doctor Who in perspective. That's it. So then you've got a picture of Dalek invasion of Earth there, it says, no waiting. And then this picture here is from the Crusade. I know it is because I saw the Crusade recently, of course. And then this picture is from the Three Doctors, where the Doctor runs away from those like jail guards. That's it. And then you've got that's the him with Jamie there, of course, and then that's the moon base. The moon base photos there. And then you've got the Ambassadors of Death picture there, and then this picture here is from Planet the Spider. She's got the speeder, Elizabeth Sladen. And then you've got the Master from the Claws of Axos, like Roger Delgado. And then the Doctor from the Armageddon Factor. But look at this. Below, Tom Baker pictured below the Armageddon Factor attracted a record audience in excess of 14 million for the Ark in Space in 1975. So, like 14 million people watched the Ark in Space. That's amazing. And then that photo's from the brain of Morbius. Like a publicity shot of Tom Baker and his pet canine device by Bob Baker and Dave Martin and introduced in The Invisible Enemy 1977. Yeah. And then you got some like newspaper articles like Whovian Times, like Who is Dr. Who, like Peter Davison, that's obviously 1980s, Doctor Who The Ultimate Celebration, The Five Doctors, Doctor Who fanzine, and obviously some more ones there, of course. And then look, the Fifth Doctor, the youthful Peter Davison, who made his debut in January 1982 in Castrovalva, like with companion Sarah Sutton Nissa. And then that's in like ill-fated young companion Adric, but that's Four to Doomsday, that picture there, of course. And then Colin Baker with Nicola Bryant, I think in the Mysterious Planet, that looks like, or whatever. Like Home Sweet Home, like Sylvester McCoy and Bonnie Langford, like the Seventh Doctor and Mel Bush there, of course. Inside the world of Doctor Who, like, there's John Nathan Turner there, of course. Opposite John Nathan, the ninth producer of Doctor Who. So you've got like a picture of William Hartnell, the iconic one, and then a picture of the second Doctor, Jamie and Zoe from I think the Space Pirates. It's Space Pirates. Like, so there's the on set, the Ambassadors of Death, and then there they are on Brighton Beach. There's John Nathan Turner. And then that's on set for Time Flight, of course, with Peter Davison, John Nathan Turner, Janet Fielding, and Sarah Sutton. And then the Five Doctors photo, like with Richard Herndl, the Waxman, Tom Baker, and then there's K9, and then John Nathan Turner, and then Carol Ann Ford. And then a picture of Colin Baker and John Nathan Turner outside the TARDIS, of course. And then like a picture of like Sylvester McCoy, Kate O'Mara, and then Mel Bush, like in Time and the Rani, like making Time and the Rani 1987. It says some more writing. Like Who is Doctor Who? It's like about the most popular British television. It's Who, Doctor Who. Like it says William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, and John Pertwee, Tom Baker, and Peter Davison. Some more write up. Above, like Carolyn Munro, who played the Doctor's companion in the Doctor Who movie. Well, that's not true. It was Daphne Ashbrook that played the companion in the TV movie that played Grace Holloway. The seven faces of Doctor Who. Yeah. Like Sylvester McCoy and his predecessors. Opposite Sylvester McCoy on location filming Delta and the Bannermen there, it looks like. She got Ken Dodd there and Delta and the Bannermen. Yeah, that's the villainous Ganvok, or Gavrok there, of course, and then that's in Delta and the Bannerman as well. Some more write-up. And then the President and 7th Sylvester McCoy's first companion, Bonnie Langford, or Vivaricious Bonnie Langford, it says there, I think. And then some pictures of the first, second, like, third Doctor there. And you got picture of companions like Liz Shaw, Caroline John, Jo Grant, Katie Manning, Sarah Jane Smith, Elizabeth Sladen, Romana Tu, Lana Ward, the Doctor favourite female companions, Nissa Sarah Sutton, Tegan Janet Fielding, and then there's Tom Baker, Peter Davison, Colin Baker, and then Sylvester McCoy. So on this side you got more, like Lena Louise Jameson, Romana 1, Mary Tam, Perry Nicola Bryant, and then A. Sophie Aldred. And then you've got a picture of Mel there, of course, Bonnie Langford. And then that's a picture of like the 7th Doctor with Chief Caretaker and is it Paradise Towers? That's it, Paradise Towers. Like the first face, 1962 to 66. That's it. Like that's from the massacre there, of course, that picture. The second face, 1966 to 9. Yeah, that's from with stovepipe hat and music stick on recorder. The third face, 1970s to 4. Yeah, that's Invaders of the Dinosaurs picture, of course. Like the fourth face, 1974 to 81. Like below, the Doctor is very much a heroic stereotype, and because he is alien, there must always be a sense of magic about him. Tom Baker, Mask of Mandragora, 1976. The fifth face, 1982 to 5. Well, that's wrong, because it should be 1981 to 84. And that's the fifth Doctor in Terminus there. Like the sixth face, 1985 to 6. Oh, that is wrong. It should be 1984 to 6. 1984. And obviously a picture of Colin Baker there, of course. Like, who are these Doctors? Well, they are like Peter Cushing, and then look at that, a stunt double. Like, it's a stunt double with Tom Baker there. And then Richard Hurnell that uncannily looked like the first Doctor and played it in the 5 Doctors. And then Peter Cushing that was in the Dalek movie, of course. Dalek movies. And then that is Trevor Martin. That's Trevor Martin there that appears the Doctor, I think. And then the War Games, like the Time Lords and the War Games, the judges. The Doctor, we presume, that's it. The Time Lords are seen by his favourite female composer over 25 years. Like Barbara Wright. Like Dodo, that's it. But then you've got Susan as well and Ian, don't forget them. Victoria Waterfield. Zoe Harriet, and then you got Liz Shaw, a picture of him and John Pertwee, of course. Jo Grant there, and then you got Sarah Jane Smith, journalist, and then Leela, and then Romana, time lady, it says there, that's Mary Tam first, but then you got Romana too as well, Nissa, and then you got Tegan Jovanka. Like a picture of the 5th Doctor and Tegan there, and then Perry there with the 6th Doctor. It's Perry, a purple Gillian Brown. Melanie Bush, look at that photo there. Ace, waitress, Sophie Aldred. And then a picture of 7th Doctor and Ace in, I think, Dragonfire there, it looks like. Like stories of intergalactic guest stars. Like, so you got the William Hartnell era. Like, that's Alan Wheatley, of course. And then George Colour is in the Keys of Marinus. Derek Francis as Emperor and the Romans. Like Julian Glover as Richard the Lionheart and the Crusade. Like Jean Marsh as the Daleks' Master Planet as Katarina. And also Battlefield as well. She was in, oh no, hang on, The Happiest Patrol, I think it was. Or Battlefield, that's it. Michael Gauss as the Celestial Toymaker, and then Time Lord in Arc Infinity. And then Robert Beatley as General Cutler on the 10th Planet. So I think, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to put this in two parts again. So make sure you hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye. I'll see you in part two.